Lone Star Gridiron is looking for interns. Over the years, we have helped dozens of students get jobs in sports media. If you want to shortcut your path to a career in sports media, click on the internship link on LoneStarGridiron.com. All right, well, everybody join me in welcoming Coach Stephen Hrncir from the Calhoun Sandcrabs. How you doing, Coach?
Chris, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here, obviously.
Cool. So let's talk about being here, because you haven't been there at Fort Lavaca, but obviously you have the gear. So talk about that transition to becoming the head coach.
I have a lot of respect for Coach Whitaker and everything that he had done there for so long, for 20 years, and coming in, I just, I've said this a couple times in interviews, but I'm looking to just, of course I want to make my mark, but I want people to just give me a chance, a fresh start. And I know some people in town were ready for a fresh start. Some people in town wanted more of the same, and so my job is really to sort of win everybody over to my side and our side, I should say, the staff that I'm putting together there. I'm excited about, but it's been. I'd say it's been about as smooth as transition as I could have hoped for. The town has been great. The admin has been very supportive. Superintendent's great. And, the kids, I met the kids the first day, and outside of one of our managers kind of dozing off a little bit at the back of the room, the kids were really excited. And our attendance, we've been working out in the summer already, obviously, doing what we call Champions course, our strength and conditioning stuff, and the attendance has been amazing. So I don't have any complaints, certainly, so far. We'll see how it goes once the season gets rolling. But yeah, it's been great so far.
So anybody who knows anything about Calhoun football knows, at least under Whitaker, they would pass the ball twice a game, and one of those was passing the ball to the ref to start the game. So is it going to change?
Yeah, we might have a couple more forward passes in the game plan. We've been working. One of the things. I won't say I'm a pass-first offense. Right. I do believe in running the football first and establishing the running game and all those kinds of things. And, I came from Cal Allen, which I know you just interviewed Coach Reeve, and he and I worked together last year. And if you're familiar with what Coach Danaher used to do, and if you're familiar with, a couple of Coach Reeve wrinkles, you'll recognize what we do offensively. It won't stray too far from those things. Now, I will say, defensively, it will be similar. I hired Greg Gonzalez from Rockport. Greg and I have known each other for a long time. He's going to be my defensive coordinator, and we run a 3-4, and so Calhoun has traditionally run an odd front, and so there's some terminology differences in those kinds of things, but for the most part, defensively, when you go to one of our games, it'll feel familiar to the fans for sure.
Sweet. And let's talk about what you have coming back. I know you don't have experience with the kids, but you know what you have coming back.
Sure. Isaiah Cabrales isn't, a preseason All-State, that's not unwarranted. There's a reason that kid has those accolades at this point, because you don't get 11 interceptions as a junior and that go unnoticed. He's a special kid, a hardworking kid. He's been one of the kids that's there a lot in the summer for us. I'd say almost every day at this point. You can count, and the days that he's missed is because he's going to camps and those kind of things. What you would expect from that caliber of player. He's a special kid. We're going to use him offensively and defensively, of course. I think a kid like that, you got to have him on the field as much as you can have him, especially at our level. We did lose some people. A lot of our offensive linemen graduated. You lose someone like Ricky Martinez and Jonathan Falcone and those kind of guys. They played in the Coastal Bend Coaches All-Star Game. You lose some guys like that, and you notice it a little bit. So I think we'll be a little undersized and inexperienced up front, but I do think that we'll have, some guys like Isaiah and some guys like Holton Hadley who he'll play receiver and some running back. Gunnar Martinez carrying the load in the backfield. We'll have guys like that'll help sort of bring everybody else along. We want to play a physical style of football, so you might not have to be the most experienced guy if you can just be a tough guy, and that's one of the things we ask our kids, and we try to develop that in them. And so I think as long as we have that toughness, we'll be okay.
Love it. Let's talk about your non-district schedule. Who do you have, and what do you expect there?
Last year in this non-district schedule, we're playing the same schedule as last year. They went 0-4 to start the season, and it's it's not accidental. You know, you have Yoakum and you have Sinton and you have St. John's and you know, Stafford and guys like that. You play those teams back to back to back to back, and there's a reason why they struggle. Now, don't get me wrong; they're competitive in all those games. You know, Calhoun has always been a tough, hard-nosed team. You know that, and the style of football they played gave them a chance to be in some of those close games. But there's a lot of talent in that schedule. But I'm happy about that, and I told the kids that I'm not shying away from any kind of fight. I want to play tough opponents in the preseason because I know what our district is. On the other side of that, bye week is a really tough district schedule. We do play Mexico City kind of in between after the Stafford game that I mentioned, and so you know, that's an interesting game too because you know, you never really know what you're going to get out of those teams. I was kind of fortunate. I played a Mexico team 3 years in a row in Cal Allen. Twice we played the team that we'll play this year at Calhoun. And then last year at Cal Allen we played a Monteverde team, I think, or Monterey somewhere else.
Monterey, yeah.
Monterey team. And they were in my opinion, they were a salty team, and they were one of the toughest teams we played last season. So you never know. It's select ball. It's not associated with a school.
That's what Charlie was saying. He said it's a select team.
Yeah, and so that, you know, sometimes they might get this kid or that kid, you know, that you didn't play the year before, or the offense might look a little different than what it did the year before on film. So you never really know what to expect. So that's a really, really hard game to prepare for. But honestly, it's a week where you can kind of like self-evaluate, step back and like do some self-scouting things and kind of look at what, you know, look internally and see what's been working and what's not and try to fix those things.
Cool. Well, let's talk about district. How do you see that shaking out?
You know, coming into this being new, you know, I have high expectations for us, but you know, it's it's real hard not to notice when a couple of teams for your district play for like the regional final and all those kind of things. You know, Lavernia's got to be up there towards the top, and I think El Campo is going to be. We played them in the playoffs last year at Cal Allen. I think they'll be an improved team, honestly. I think they'll be a little better than they were last year. And Coach Reeve, obviously, at El Campo does a great job. You know, the way the district shakes out in terms of who makes the playoffs and who doesn't, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a, you know, I don't have a crystal ball and I can't see into the future. But I hope that at the end of the season, the Sandcrabs are there, you know, making it into the postseason, and certainly that's our expectation. We want to win a district championship. We want to win by district and continue on as far as we can. But really, I mean, you know this. I mean, I'm sure every coach says that we got to take it one game at a time because, you know, if we start looking too far ahead, you start missing the steps that are right in front of you. So.
That's true. That's true. So next up, we have what's called the lightning round. I'm going to say two things. You just tell me which one speaks to you.
Okay.
All right. Willie Nelson or George Strait?
George Strait, yeah.
Dogs or cats?
I'm not a cat person. My cat, we have two cats, but my cat just puked all over the floor a couple days ago. So I'm definitely a dog person. I love boxers specifically. I have a boxer. I love them to death.
Hoodies or polos?
I mean, I'm wearing a polo. I guess I'll say I'm a hot-natured kind of person. I don't need a lot of hoodies, so yeah, I'm going to go with polo.
Okay. Buc-ee's or Whataburger?
Whataburger. And they need to bring back that Monterey Melts, you know, on a permanent basis. That's my favorite burger.
We'll see if we can get them as a sponsor.
Yeah, get them on there.
Ribs or brisket?
Brisket. Lavaca Barbecue, by the way. I'll shout them out.
They are great.
They're number 8 in the state for a reason. One of the best briskets I've ever had.
Queso or salsa?
Salsa, and specifically my homemade salsa. I make a little homemade salsa. It's pretty good.
I'm going to have to come check that out.
It's not bad.
Love it. Coach Prime or Coach Saban?
Man, that's a tough one. You know, just for how long that he's been doing it, I have to say Coach Saban. I mean, I'm a Cowboys fan. I love the Cowboys, and so obviously Coach Prime, I have a little bit of love for him outside of his coaching career. But yeah, I got to take Coach Saban.
Well, that's the next one. Cowboys or Texans?
That's easy. Cowboys for sure.
Longhorns or Aggies?
You know, I like Texas football in general, and when I'm watching college football, I don't even care which game I'm watching. I like if there's a game on, if there's a team from Texas, then you have to be UT or A&M. I'll support that Texas team. You know, I love what Coach Taylor's doing at UTSA, and you know, I like it. So I mean, any Texas team, but if you twist my arm and make me pick, I don't know. My mom would kill me for saying it because she's an Aggie fan, but I'd probably say UT. But
I love it.
I love them both.
Exactly. So when on a Friday night, looking across the field at another coach from Texas, who would you least like to see across there?
Well, luckily, does it have to be still coaching, or could it be any time?
Anytime.
I would have hated to see Phil Danaher and Steve Campbell staring me in the face. I worked with those guys for a lot of years, and to try to coordinate an offense against Steve Campbell's defense sounds like a daunting task. So I don't think that's anything I'd ever want to do. So thankfully, those guys are retired at this point, so I don't have to worry about that anymore.
You dodged that bullet. So on your staff, who's the funniest coach?
I have a couple guys, but I guess I got to give a shout out to my offensive coordinator, James Herrera. He's a guy that's been making me laugh for a lot of years, and a lot of times you need that levity because it gets to be a grind. It gets to be a grind sometimes, and so if somebody can just make us smile a little bit, it makes the days go by a little bit faster.
I love it. Well, Coach Hrncir, I want to thank you so much for sharing some of your team preview, and best of luck this season.
Thanks a lot, Chris. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Get ready to tee off with the legends of Texas sports. That's right, the TLSN Legends Golf Classic, a day of golf, glory, and giving back. It will be held at the Great Hills Country Club in Austin, Texas, Sunday, September 15th. Registration 11 a.m., tee time around noon, award ceremony at 6 p.m. Who's invited? Everyone. Fans, friends, alumni, business leaders, and golf lovers. If you have any interest in golf, this is the must-attend golf tournament. Whether you're swinging for birdies or just soaking up the stories, this is a can't-miss event. What can you expect? A round of golf with Texas sports legends. A premium course experience at Great Hills, awards, prizes, and exclusive photo ops. Food, drinks, unforgettable memories. The full details will be coming soon, as well as the lineup of legends who will be the captains for each team. To stay in the loop and to keep updated on player announcements, sponsor reveals, and ticket availability, go to texaslsn.org. That's texaslsn.org. The TLSN Legends Golf Classic.